Hey everybody, this is Melina from Scrapbookingwithme.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram and over on Facebook at Me Crafty Scrapper Creates. And today's video is going to be especially for the newcomers to paper crafting. I get a lot of comments about, well, that's great the way you made that, but I don't have that, or I don't have that tool, or I don't have this. And it does not matter. You can paper craft and junk journal and scrapbook with just some paper and a pair of scissors. I mean, you do not have to have all the latest, greatest gadgets, and you can make your own die cuts. That's what I get the most comments about. I don't have a good selection of die cuts, or I don't have a lot of packs of die cuts, so I don't have anything to add to pockets or add to a page for decoration or this or that. You can make your own die cuts. You don't have to have the pre-packaged die cuts, which, you know, we carry them at scrapbookingwithme.com and we would love for you to buy them from us. But we know that sometimes times are hard. It's not payday, it's not pay week, whatever, and you still want to create and craft. So I'm showing you today how you can do just that. Now, if you have just a couple of sheets of pattern papers, that is going to be all you need to make yourself your own little pile of die cuts to go on to your pages, your pockets, dress up a belly band, whatever. And you know, with a belly band, all you have to do to create one of those is have a little strip of cardstock or a little strip of any kind of, even if you wanted to do copy paper and just fold it over on itself and then make about a 1.5 to 2 inch wide piece, you've got a belly band, and then you just dress it up some. So like this paper, this has been in my stash. It is from something diary collection, a signature collection that I think has already been discontinued. But this has got some of the prettiest stuff on it. So one thing that I would do to get myself a die cut is I would chomp out this flower piece here, okay, and we'll do something with that in just a minute. And then you've got some wording right here. So if you have a paper punch, you could punch it out. If not, if you have any kind of label stamp or anything like that, you can stamp like this. And if you've been a scrapbooker for long, surely you've got at least one set of stamps that's got a shape in it somewhere, and then some type of, maybe one ink or something. Okay, and so if you had that little label, stamp it on there, and I just stamped it with some walnut stain, Tim Holtz walnut stain ink. Those are not expensive either, so that's some of the easier stuff that you could start your stash with and get you some supplies. So this is a little, what is this, an octagon, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, octagon shape. And then you've made a little piece of ephemera or die cut or whatever, and then you could even get like a little butterfly piece and fussy cut that out. And this is just from some paper, so if you had another piece of scrapbook paper that had a bunch of little butterflies on it, just fussy cut that out. This one's tiny, so it's taken me just a second to get that all cut out. And then you could just put a little dot of glue on the back side of it and put it on there wherever you would like. And you have a little die cut to add to your page, your journal, your whatever. Okay, this piece here, I would go around all the little pieces, and some might say, yeah, I don't like the fussy cut, and that takes forever. But if you don't have any die cuts in your stash, you got to start somewhere, guys. And fussy cutting to me is therapeutic, or as Barney Fife says, therapeutic. I love to sit and fussy cut to rest my mind. It is very soothing to me to fussy cut. So I'll sit at night when Brandon's got something on TV that I'm not particularly interested in, and I'll get my scissors out and some pattern paper and start fussy cutting, just so that I can use, you know, something new on my pages, in my journals, whatever. And this would be fresh and new because it is not anything that you're going to find in a die cut pack, because you fussy cut it out yourself and made something from nothing. And y'all know that is one of my absolute favorite things to do, is to make something from nothing. When we have our Scrap Busters, I have quite a few people that say, you know, I'm just starting out and I really don't have any scraps yet. So go ahead and make those tags and make those tickets and pockets and things. Even if you hadn't made your first journal, go ahead and make all that stuff and make yourself one of our little tag boxes that we made a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, that's just out of one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, so easy peasy. Go ahead and make you one of those. And then when you make your little tags and stuff, you've got somewhere to put them all, so it's not all over the place. And when you are ready to use it all, it's all in one spot and you're not constantly looking for it. That's another thing. Whenever I am crafting, if my space is not organized, I can't do it. My mind is all over the place. I'm scattered. I can't concentrate. I have to have my stuff organized. I've got a little spot on the right side of my desk right now that desperately needs some more organization. So I'm going to have to get at that after I finish this video. But I had these papers sitting close to my desk and I thought those would be very pretty to cut out some of my own little die cuts. And so that's what I decided to do, and I thought I might as well share with everybody else while I'm doing it. So this is a rather big piece, but this would be a great little tuck spot on a journal, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a minute. Let me finish getting this all cut out. Now I don't go all the way down into like the little places. I don't go all the way down into those because that would just make it very fragile. And as long as I get a few little back and forth places, especially since some of these little sticks are very faint looking, and I just do my scissors back and forth, and that's plenty of definition from that piece. So there is that one. Almost got it all out. One more little piece here, like that. And now there is a pretty die cut to add to your journal. I'm going to get my walnut stain and just barely go around the edges just to define it a little bit more and get maybe the white core covered up, because a lot of this double-sided pattern papers and scrapbook papers have that white core middle, and so if you do a little bit of distressing around the edges, it covers all that up and gets rid of all of it. I don't know what in the world I've gotten all over. It's probably soot from the wax seals that I was doing in the previous video. So there's a piece of ephemera, and I'm going to get my idea journal out and show y'all how I would use that piece in my journal. So on a page, let's just go with this ledger page. I would go in the, probably in the corner here, just like that. And look how pretty that is, just as is, how pretty it is. And then I would just glue on these outer edges and leave these open, so that way you could have it open as a tuck and slide something down in that and have it as a little corner tuck there. Okay, so there is one of the prettiest die cuts you could ever have in your life, and it wasn't even a real die cut. It came from a piece of pattern paper. Okay, same thing with this little stamped piece we did. If you've got a little pocket or just a little piece right here, you could add something like that. Put a little piece of trim back behind it and have a little border at the bottom with that little die cut that you just made. Put at the bottom of it. So there's two. And let's go on to this little sheet of paper. It's a little tiny sheet. I've used this a couple of times in other stuff, and I thought I need to be able to use that in a different way. So I thought about doing something like this. The octagon is right there, and then doing maybe this square here. Take that one off. And you don't have to have the exact labels that I've got. Use whatever you have. I'm going to open up my StazOn ink just because it's the black ink that I've got right here. Got another one I like better than this, but we're just going to use this one right now. Okay, and stamp down on that. See, it's very faint, and you don't have to have a huge spot. It doesn't have to be very dark. And just cut around that stamped image. And yes, you're going to cut off some of that butterfly, but wait till you see. See, that's just beautiful to me. I love the butterfly in the corner like that. Very pretty. And you could actually define the sides of this even more by putting a few little doodles. Let me see if I can find my brown pen. And I don't see it anywhere, but I do have my gold one. So we can put some defined line around where that octagon is. And you could so do this without even needing the stamp set. So now you have a gold kind of framed piece. Beautiful. And then this one is a square. We're going to get a little bit of the mushroom, and we're going to get a little bit of the butterfly. And then we can define this a little bit better too with a marker. So see, there's you a little die cut, hand done, DIY die cut. And let's go with maybe this gold pen. It'll stand up on top of that black a little bit better. Oh, it's beautiful. I love that. Yep. Just like that. Beautiful. And you can add a little word label to it if you wanted to. Easy peasy. Handmade die cut. And if you have some script paper, you don't need anything but a pair of scissors. And just cut out a little bit of that script. And if you've got a corner rounder or something like that, you could do that. I'm going to use this little ticket punch or tag punch. Go around each one of my corners just to give it a little different feel. And then here we've got a little blank spot. Now you could cut up that way, or if you like that size, just ink around the edges. Okay, and then add just a little piece of trim or something. Very easy to do that and have a little piece of trim to the edge. And the easiest way I've ever found to put trim down is with 1/8 inch score tape. If you don't have that, of course, just use whatever adhesive you have. And so then I'm going to take off the back. So it's just double-sided tape. And a lot of us scrapbookers have that double-sided tape, that's for sure. That was the thing when I was scrapbooking. You had to have a double-sided tape dispenser, or you just wasn't scrapbooking. Okay? And then you could add any type of die cut on top of that if you wanted to. Ooh, this little pink butterfly right here. So this is just a piece of pattern paper that had a pretty butterfly on it that I knew I would want to fussy cut sometime in the future. So I think the name of this video needs to be, "Hey Newcomer, fussy cutting is your friend." And it is, y'all, especially if you're just starting out with paper crafting and you don't have, you know, the funds to buy all of that stuff, all the tools, all the punches, all the stamp sets, you know, all the stuff, all the packs of die cuts. If you've got just a few pieces of pattern paper that have little images on them, then you've got enough to make yourself quite a pile of ephemera to add to any project. So a little bit of glue on the back of this butterfly and put it right down on there. And there's you a piece of ephemera ready to add to any page you would like. I love script paper. That's some of my favorite scrapbook paper, is when it's got some script writing on it. So like this piece here, cut all the way up. So this is kind of like newsprint paper. Love it. Okay, I'm going to go straight across here. And then I'm going to use this line right here as my guide. So see, you don't even need a trimmer when you're using it like this. So I'm going to go right up the edge of that line. Okay, and I'm just going to do the little tag shape that way. You don't even have to have a tag punch. You can just cut those off yourself. No need for a tag punch if you don't already have it. Okay, and then I'm just going to ink around the edges. And then you don't even need a circle punch when you make a tag. So this is a little skinny tag here, all done. But if you wanted to put like a little piece of trim or something at the top, if you have a stapler, and lots of people have staplers at home, so no need to go out and buy anything special. I just happen to have the Tim Holtz tiny attacher, so it's a stapler, it's just tiny staples. Okay, that's the only difference. And I've got this little piece of trim here, and I'm going to cut me 2 of them the same length. Okay, so it's like little daisy trim or something. And I'm going to put them at an angle like this. Put them at the top of my tag. and then I'm just going to staple them on. And you've got tassels at the top of your tag, and there was no sense in having a hole punch and lots of ribbon. You just needed 2 little pieces. So there's a tag made. Easy peasy. Alright, let's go to this lovely paper. Roses, little bunches of roses is some of my favorite stuff. I love this, y'all. Now when I am fussy cutting, usually I will try to cut the piece out from the larger spot on the piece of paper or cardstock or whatever, just so that I have a smaller, easier spot to cut out. But I'm just showing you, you don't have to cut anything off of your full sheet at all if you don't want to, like I did that first piece. You can just cut off the edge and whatever piece is there, whatever artwork or decoration or whatever. So I'm going to go around all these little flower petals and go ahead and get this purple one too, and just do a few little angles. See, now this has got that little bitty green piece right there. I'm not even going to worry about that. It's going to stay on the paper. I'm going to go straight across. It has this little bud right here. I will salvage that, maybe, if I don't slide the scissors too far over. Okay, and then about here is when I get tired of dealing with the page here, and I'll go and get that the rest of the way off. So now I can maneuver around the rest of this quite easily. But I still have plenty of this page left. It's just that one little corner I've got over there. So going around all these flowers. Now this will be kind of like that first bigger floral piece we fussy cut, but this one's a little smaller. And I cut it from the edge, and a lot of people will say, you know, I don't use anything that come off my pattern paper when it's on the edge like that, because it's got that flat side, and so, I mean, where am I going to use that? Oh my goodness, this is my favorite, y'all. These are my favorite to use on a page or on a scrapbook layout or something. When it's got that flat edge, it's my favorite. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go this side. Boom, you got decoration, and it is lined up, so when you glue this on, you know that it's going to be straight, because it's lined up with the edge of your page here, and then you've got this decoration. You could do it on this side. Turn it upside down. Put that flat side right up against the page. Glue that down. You have a beautiful decoration on your page. Love that. Y'all, it is like, that was like the most fun ever when I was first starting out, was finding stuff on my pattern papers that I could cut out and use without needing any kind of, you know, anything. Because I was in the same boat you are if you're a newcomer to paper crafting. I was in that same boat. I didn't have a lot when I first started out. I started scrapbooking in, oh, what was it, 1999, right after me and my husband got married. And I did not have a lot of stuff. And you can tell that I didn't have a lot of stuff on those first scrapbook pages, but I don't care. I wouldn't give anything for those first scrapbook pages. I love them. So this paper has bear and squirrels and trees and cabins and little areas where there's all kinds of like a log and trees on a hillside. I love that one. So I want to get this out. I've already got one of the bears. I've already got a tree. I want to get this one out, and then I want to get the cabin. At least one cabin out. And then these could be beautiful accents to pages. Okay, so let's get all of these up and cut them out. Fussy cut them. So the bear. And when you're fussy cutting, if you'll leave just the least little, maybe 1/16 of an inch around the image, it just presents a little bit better when you do that. I'm not sure why. I've just always done that, and it does. It presents a little bit better than if you got right up against it. And now you can ink, and you've got a little bear to add on to your page. This cabin, I want to salvage this tree right here. So I'm going to fussy cut around that. So there's that beautiful cabin and trees, and I will just ink the edges a little bit. We've got that to add, and this little trail sign, and then this tree here by itself, and then these trees. I'm going to go ahead and just do this one for the sake of time with the log, because it is so pretty. I love this little scene on this sheet of paper. Go around all the little trees. You don't have to go into every little limb if you don't want to. Just make you some triangle cuts back and forth and back and forth, and you've got trees cut out easily. Okay, and then around that one, around the horizon, and then back and forth a little bit from grass to grass. And there's you a cute little scene. And you could even make this a little tuck if you wanted to. Just glue down the bottom and leave the top. Okay, and there's the little trail sign and the tree. So see, it has nothing to do with how many tools you have or how much stuff you've accumulated over the years. If you're just starting out, you can have all kinds of die cuts. Just get you a pack of pattern paper and a good pair of scissors. These are the Tim Holtz Tonic, and I think these are the 5-inchers. Yep, 5-inch scissors, and we do carry these in the shop. There are snips, and then there are the full-fledged scissors, and this is the full-fledged dudes, not the little snips. We have not been able to get the snip scissors in a long time. Tim Holtz has got a backlog of things his manufacturers need to get on the ball and do. So I'm just going to cut out this last piece here and ink it up and show you. And I just wanted to get on and tell everybody, especially my new subscribers, and if you're new to paper crafting, welcome. And I am an established paper crafter, but I'm always on the lookout for things that I can help newcomers with, because I was there once also. I got overwhelmed at all the stuff that everybody else had and that I didn't have, and I just started out small. I started out with lots of scrapbook paper, and I still love scrapbook paper to this day, and I have lots and lots and lots of pads of scrapbook paper, 12 by 12, and then I have lots and lots and lots of plain solid 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and that is always going to be something that I keep. But it's very good if it's got some pattern on it, and you can make your own little fussy cut ephemera pieces. Hey newcomer, fussy cutting is your friend. So get those scissors out and start cutting. So there's another little piece, and just ink the edges. And you can add it to any page, scrapbook page, journal page, card fronts. These would be very pretty on card fronts. So you could add this at the top here. It's just decoration, and maybe a little word label there, or at the bottom do a little tuck space like I did with that bigger one. See if you have both here and here. You want to do a very matchy journal. That is gorgeous, just like that. So there we go, a very easy peasy beginner video for you, and I hope that it has helped you get some ideas of what you can do to make your own ephemera pieces to go in your paper crafting projects. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below and I'll do my best to answer it. Y'all have a great day. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Bye, y'all.